Hello, welcome to the Dugout. After a weekend where much was promised but very little delivered in terms of some action, because it was a game that got washed out. Seemed to be a promising game, seemed to be a good entertaining encounter with the way Abhishek and Shubman were going, and then of course Rain having its final say as it has throughout that series. Eventually India winning the series. But now one series ends. That's the story of Indian cricket. What do they say about one bus comes and then if you miss one, the next one will come.
एक युग खत्म, दूसरा युग शुरू.
Yug to is still.
Can't even really calling it a yug.
Yeah. Like one bus you miss, no problem. Many keeps coming.
Yeah.
One metro you miss, it's okay. It will come in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, Mumbai local, like the Mumbai local train.
Like that is Indian cricket. One series is over. The next one is just round the corner, and that is of course the Test series. Having said that, you're getting series come thick and fast. Yet it is a very, or at least a series that promises a lot, because it is the Test champions versus the team that would like to be Test champions, a team that's starting a new cycle, a team that missed out on a WTC final for the very first time. So it is a team that have had two series, one series tied and one series win under a young captain. So plenty to look forward to in that particular series. We're coming to live from Delhi NCR as we always do. I hope you can see us clearly and not with
I hope you're not in haze cars or some other kind of things.
haze cars.
Haze cars. It's not horse cars, it's haze cars.
Oh, but why just badnaam karo horse cars? The whole region is like that.
It is.
Badly affected.
1000 plus AQI. We can't breathe. We can't
Officially.
breathe. Yeah.
Which at best it's controlled as well. Like the water sprinklers
which fudged all the data.
Yet if officially it's saying so high AQI. And to make matters worse, John T. Rhodes has said what?
He has said that I'm thankful to be living in a small village in Goa, because I went through, when he was flying through Delhi, he said seeing the low air quality was sad.
Sad. Don't blame him.
I really don't blame him.
And it's not even like, I know it's the start of the India-South Africa series. It's not even an Australian, like I said, it's some sort
Mind
of
games.
gamesmanship or mind games he's playing before the series starts to trouble you.
The BCCI this time had foresight. You remember they switched the venues. Remember at the start of the year, they said South Africa was initially supposed to be held in Delhi.
That would have been something, my God.
But then they said no, we can't because of the pollution and all the concerns that were raised. So they switched it to Kolkata. And believe it or not, one interesting trivia. This is the first red ball match that Kolkata is hosting in the WTC. In the entire cycles that have been held.
Yeah, they've had one prior to this. It was the pink ball test against Bangladesh. Nonsense.
They haven't hosted a red ball test in the WTC ever.
Why?
I really don't know why Kolkata is not getting that many test matches. Either because it's lack of crowds. Prior to that, we had very little crowds for test matches in Kolkata.
Oh, come on.
And also choice of opponents. You didn't give them the marquee.
You had 100, 200 people turning up to watch the West Indies.
Exactly.
You could have had more.
Yeah.
It's Kolkata, 5,000 people watch Gali Mohalla matches.
That I don't buy that. Tell me why.
And it's very weird because at one point, until very recently, your board president was the former CAB president, Dada himself.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
See, the last time prior to that pink ball test you hosted was against New Zealand, 2016. That time you won. After that, 17, 18, you didn't play in Kolkata. 19, you played the pink ball test. After that, you haven't played in Kolkata.
And that pink ball test was such a rubbish pink ball test.
Yeah, 2.5 day test.
Is it because it's a venue where, one of the rare venues where the curator doesn't listen to you?
Or it could be where South Africans get cheered.
Yes, that happened, 2005.
That did happen.
It did happen. And by the way, test match in Kolkata, I mean, who
No,
can...
but you're talking about them not getting any red ball.
Very mysterious.
Very mysterious. You had West Indies
We
play
have
there in
IPL
13.
teams complaining he's not preparing.
I know.
knowing how, which is a good thing by the way, I say it only as a praise, that knowing how in the last few years Kolkata have, or Eden Gardens in particular, has produced a nice track for fast bowlers,
Yeah.
and they've maintained that that's how they will make their pitches.
Yeah, I don't think it's a nice pitch for fast bowlers anymore. Last 2 years, they've been roads. I was very sympathetic to poor Ajinkya. I understand that sometimes going public not the best thing to do.
No, but that was IPL. I think in Red Ball, in Ranji or wherever, I think Kolkata or Eden Gardens developed a reputation where they were preparing pitches to help fast bowling.
Which is fair.
Is that why they don't get?
Well, the last
Because
time,
those are not the kind of pitches we were getting for home test matches.
I mean, the last time you lost a test in Kolkata, it was Panesar and Swan that did the damage in 2012, along with Anderson and Finn.
That was different. You know that in the last 4-5 years, I think, and that's a good thing for which they've been praised. When Saurav Ganguly took over as the secretary of the
CAB.
the board of the state board at that time, CAB. Since then, he made a conscious effort that, let's have pitches that aid fast bowling that will help us produce fast bowlers, and you have produced some from there, Mohammed SHAMI, Akash,
Yeah.
and it'll also allow our batters to get used to certain conditions. So they were conscious about it. They went about it. I don't know how much of a role it.
By the way, because I remember he's talking about 2012. Never mind red ball, even IPL cricket at that time, KKR used to be playing 3-4 spinners bare minimum.
Yes.
Because it was one of the slowest pitches in India.
And then they
by
changed.
some distance.
And then they changed. So quite possible that,
Yeah.
the Indian teams vary that we go there, we don't get the pitches that we so desired, and that is what you saw. I know that it might be changing now. Who knows what kind of pitches you go, but there are enough indications to suggest that you may stop getting those rank turners that you started to get from about
2021 types, really. I would
17, you remember that series?
Australia.
Australia also,
Yeah.
that Pune.
Pune was a sandpit.
Yeah.
Bengaluru threatened to be a sandpit but became a classic. Ranchi was a road.
say. Ranchi is always.
The true pitch that you got, where you got bowlers and batters, was Dharamshala.
Yeah. And then, I think from 21 onwards, so you definitely started getting like
Ahmedabad.
From that England series onwards, every series from there on,
Yeah.
it was a clear cut,
You can say
visible difference. In the
if
pitches
you are
we were
looking
getting
at the
before that.
South Africa series against India, you remember that Nagpur 2015, that was rated a poor pitch when South Africa bundled out for 79. Mohali was a rank turner in 15. And Delhi, well, that blockathon ensured it was a typical Delhi wicket, 141 runs, 143 overs. So
The blockathon you're talking about Hashim and AB.
Hashim and AB, yeah. So in similar polluted situations.
Anyway, whatever the reason, they have finally got a test matches. We don't know how the pitch is going to be. We will find out, and we'll have enough days to discuss. The test match only starts on Friday. We have days leading up to that, but the signs of what might come are already there for all of us to see. Mohammed SHAMI is a local boy talking about fast bowling. He's not going to be around this time, but he's in the news recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, now it's turning out, and very, very interesting timing, because you'd remember Shami had said that, no one reached out to me, no one asked me if I was fit, and I have always been fit. Now we're hearing that apparently people in the board and the selectors did reach out to him, and they had asked him to take part in at least one of two of the England Lions games, which is prior to the India-England series. There were two matches that were held. He played in neither of them, and reportedly what he said was, look, my body is not up to the workload of test matches right now. Do not consider me for these games. And I don't know, the reports are suggesting that potentially that could be something that led to him not being considered for the other matches as well, which I find a bit odd, but
No, I don't. This is exactly because a lot of people keep asking me that, he's not made it, and what do you think of it? And we often spoke that for us, he is a match winner even now. And I just take you back to the England tour. Imagine if Shami was there, could have been a different story. But see, every time there is a non-selection and some glaring non-selection, there has been a reason greater than what we are seeing in plain sight. For example, Sarfraz, we've often discussed that very unfair that he's out. But we also have alluded to the reasons which may have, rightly or wrongly, that's another debate, which could have led to him not being there. And I think in Shami's case, this is why I think it's come to this. Of course, him coming out and saying those things, and never taken lightly in the BCCI. But the fact that he had not been playing any cricket before or not participating in any of the matches prior to those series and selection, and now he may be, but I think contributed majorly towards him not being looked at. I believe that there were conversations which are now reporting, but this is something that we had heard in the corridors of Board of Control for Cricket in India, that Mohammed Shami had been reluctant to participate. And this is one thing that we've seen with the current selection committee, that if you have at any point shown any reluctance to play any cricket that they want you to in a lead up to a series, whether it's a domestic level like a Ranji Trophy or now it'll be Vijay Hazare, or if there is an A tour, and you have not been okay coming, and you may be practicing in your academy and putting out reels of you practicing in your academy and all, but if you've not been participating, I don't think it's taken kindly. I go back to where it all started, Shreyas Iyer, Ishan Kishan. After that also you've had a situation, now see where you have come, you had a situation where the team won the Asia Cup the very next week, in fact within a matter of few days. A lot of your stars were playing.
Tilak Abhishek had to play the India-Australia series.
That's what I'm trying to say. Everyone has been told. There is a reason why there is a debate about Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And yes, there is valid argument to say that you don't have to see those performances to judge them and them playing for India in ODI. But I think they've drawn a line in the sand and said, no, if you're not doing this, you're not going to be considered. I don't know, because I know that Shami is keen to play, but probably Shami and a few other players have kind of not, or are realizing, or are in the process of realizing how serious the BCCI or the selection committee is about this. Maybe they still, or some have taken time to realize the importance of this and have not started doing it, and they're paying a price for it. I think Shami falls in that category. For me personally, he's good enough to be part of the India team, should be part of the India team. But if they've come up with this rule, and then rules are same for even a Virat Kohli and a Rohit Sharma, then he can't be living in what the culture existed 1 year ago or 2 years ago. If things have changed, he needed to have come and shown it in performances. Yes, he was practicing in his own farmhouse and put reels that he's fit and gave. But I guess a rule is a rule.
I mean, I think his timing also went awry. See, does 3 rounds of close to 100 overs and 15 wickets give him the license that, okay, what more do you want me to do?
No, so that happened later.
Yeah.
I'm saying see, now he's come out and played, and but see, this is what was happening in Indian cricket, that every time you wanted to make a comeback or you were out and you wanted to prove a point, you'd go play a few domestic games and show that, listen, I'm performing and I need to come back. But I don't think that it is now, which used to be the case, it was for the player to decide when he wants to play. So for example, I don't feel like playing now. There are a few series, I'll just rest out 4-5 months. I don't want to be playing. And you know that this culture existed where you sat out and you didn't play. So then they asked you that play, if you want to be considered. Let's say in your mind you said, no, I don't want to be playing this series. I don't want to be considered. So you didn't go and play a series. 4 months down the line, you want to play. You went and played Ranji Trophy. You picked up wickets. You did that. Now you're saying, I've done it. Now pick me. You're saying no. You can't take a call as to when. He's
gone the Ishan Kishan way in that sense.
In the sense of what everyone was doing in India cricket. Yeah. I think that was the norm, and that was an accepted norm that everyone was following. They could, in that sense, decide when they want to. In fact, a lot of time they would come back without playing domestic cricket as well. But I think what they've said now is that no, if you're, see, even a Jasprit Bumrah is having to play 2 test matches versus West Indies.
Yeah.
Also, I think now what they're doing is they're making it clear that if you feel you've got an injury, like let's assume, for instance, Shami was saying he was feeling it, then they say report to the COE.
Correct.
So they've made it very black and white. So if you have an injury, go to the COE, get the injury treated. Don't take these calls yourself. Or if you feel like you're at that point where your workload needs to be managed, let that be done in collusion with BCCI doctors. And there needs to be a centralized framework. A lot of times players were taking that call for themselves. And if you are now, then you'd have to probably go the Shreyas Iyer, where you have to shoot off an email and say that, no, I don't feel my body is up for the demands of red ball cricket.
Which is fair.
Which is fair.
If that's the route Shami took.
But I don't think...
I think he took the Ishan Kishan route.
And also, that you're saying, like, if you've got an injury, and you've got, let's say he went to the center of excellence, he's there, whatever. Once you've recovered, you then have to make yourself available by playing whatever cricket is happening and telling them I'm available to play an A tour or a domestic game or whatever, and you show your workload there. You can't say, okay, now I came for the injury, now I'm treated, now I'm fit, now I'm going back, and then when the next team is announced, I expect to be there. You'll have to play some games and show them, and in this case, as now it is coming out that he was kind of told, but he didn't turn up for those games.
And there was no
injury. Which used to be accepted at one point. Maybe he doesn't realize that it's now. No.
And from what we know, there was no injury. He played the entirety of the IPL season. He was playing games right until the end of the season.
Although he was left out, he didn't play all that. I think he was then left out because his pace had dropped. And I think he was carrying an injury which was not diagnosed well at that time, I think.
Yeah. But in that case, then he needed to go to the COE. He didn't do that.
See, I mean, for a lot of us, we may agree or disagree. Like, there can be a school. I'm not saying that if this is the rule, this is a good rule. I can disagree by saying you don't have to. Why should a player like Shami have to go and show his performances there? If he's fit, bring him on. I can be of that opinion, and if somebody who's watching us is of the opinion, nothing wrong with that. But my point is that if the guys in charge are of the opinion that everyone has to play, then that rule has to be the same for everyone. That is the point that I think we're trying to make, or I think that they are paying attention to, that for once you come up with a rule, then it has to be the same for everyone, and that is what this particular selection committee is trying to achieve. You may agree or disagree with the rule, that's another matter, and as I said, some of you may, like for Virat and Rohit also, some might say that why do they have to play domestic cricket? You see them in ODIs, if they're doing well, continue. Why are you making them go through the ground? But maybe the thought process is, if you make an exception with 1 person, 2 person, whatever, then maybe it wouldn't be fair. So we got to have a similar thought process for everyone. I think that is what their mindset is.
And I think it's fair. I think it's better to have that consistent sort of an outlook rather than say that, okay, we're going to have one rule for these people and a different rule for these people. That's what we kept saying, right? If you're going to make a Virat and Rohit, because they're one format players, make them play a few Vijay Hazare games, then the same should apply for even those who are trying to vie for multiple formats. Nothing wrong with playing a few domestic games.
Just check Shami's IPL 2025. 9 matches only he played in. So that is the thing out of the 14.
But were all of those matches early on, or did he miss some of the matches later?
There were some early on, but then that towards the fag end he was having a drop in pace, a real drop in pace.
I remember. It was pretty bad watching him bowl.
Pretty bad. So that is where. After that, he is not featured, except in the Ranji games where he's played in 3 games and clocked close to 100 overs.
And even that came now.
Yeah, it's come now.
Because then otherwise, if you remember, after the IPL, you had the England series. After England series, you again had a month's break before the Asia Cup. So you had those 2 major lulls where you would have been playing no cricket.
Exactly.
Where would you have proved his fitness? The best place actually would have then been the A series, India versus Lions.
But I think that they've really, maybe that's really gone against him, because now he's not even part of the A setup. See, that's what I'm trying to say. That it's not so much now they're trying to see or assess his fitness. I think the things with him refusing to play those games, and now saying that I'm fit to bring him on, they're saying, no, you don't decide, we will. That's one. And secondly, now that he came out and said those things, that I'm fit, it's their job to find out if I'm fit or not mine. That, this setup doesn't take certain things kindly. So now he's not even part of the...
And because of those comments, he's not even there in the South Africa series. He's not getting a test berth until August, September.
I don't think he's
South
getting
Africa
a test
series. I'm saying he's not in your A team, yeah.
A team also.
What is South Africa's main team?
Siraj is playing A matches.
Team. The A team that is playing against South Africa is not there. How can he be how can you even dream of a main team? It's not there in the A team.
Nope. And No chances of red ball cricket now until July.
Though honestly, if he was even in my scheme of things, I would not have him in the A team. Neither would I have Siraj in the A team. Neither would I have Prasidh Krishna in the A team. Neither would I have Akash in that A team. Neither would I have a Kuldeep Yadav in that A team. Because you are playing a test series versus South Africa and you are making your main team play those practice match and helping the opposition prepare for a series like this. It's all fine that we discussed that for SHAMI you have that rule, you have to play and you have to show intent. That's all fine. But somewhere Indian cricket needs to get their strategy right, and this is what strategy is all about. That you make it tough for the opposition within the rules. I mean, there are certain things you've gone which felt like beyond the spirit of the sport, like watering the pitch right after the test match is over so that the opposition cannot practice, which we thought was rather mean. But I'm saying even that, you've reached even that level or you've done it, and that's fine. I think every country tries to get some sort of advantage. To now you've become Atiti Deva Bhava, where you are they're coming here for 2 test matches and you are getting a full-fledged bowling attack, almost a full-fledged bowling attack and a batting attack, and getting them to play a South African team and A team which has members of the main team as well as the rest of them, and getting them prepared for a series versus India.
It's called the Freedom Trophy. It's called the Gandhi Mandela Trophy. Is it to celebrate the bonhomie that is there between India and South Africa? And Nikhil would know Kolkata. 34 years ago, they came back to international cricket. Right
on
at this venue.
By the way, today is the day.
Yeah.
10th of November was the day India-South Africa. South Africa returned after a long hiatus because of apartheid in 1991. Today was the day it was played at Eden Garden.
And you were there?
I was there at the ground. Life's come a full circle, but that was the main game, and all for the Friendship Cup and Friendship Series and all that, and Mandela, Gandhi and all those values are all fine. And I hope those values and beliefs are shown on the cricket pitch when you play tough but you play fair. All that is great, but no, I do not buy this thing of having this particular A series. What is it that you're trying to achieve by this A series other than give the advantage to the opposition?
Look at the squad for the second test alone. India A, I'm talking about. KL Rahul, Sai Sudarshan, Rishabh Pant, Dhruv Jurel, Mohammed Siraj, Kuldeep Yadav, Akash. 7 out of the 15 in the squad that have been picked for the South Africa series are playing in that. Okay? From the South Africa A side, only 2 guys are featuring in the main South Africa team. Zubair Hamza and Temba Bavuma. None of the others are featuring.
I think there are 3 in all.
2. Zubair Hamza and Temba Bavuma. You're not having Kyle Simmons. It's not Pernal Subrayan. I think Subrayan isn't playing. Shepo Moreki isn't playing. Sele isn't playing. Van Vuren isn't playing. Esther Yusen isn't playing. Ackerman isn't playing. Only Bavuma and Hamza.
Just show the main squad, please.
Yeah.
Even then, if it's 2 or 3, it tells you that South Africa are treating this exactly like what it's meant to be treated as, an A series. We've gone and made it a mini warm-up. And actually, of all the players you've named, I think the only one who I'd really have wanted to see was Akash. Simple reason, he's been injured. He's not been playing domestic cricket either. So he's been carrying a bit of a knock. So him playing this, I understand. You want to get your
South Africa,
one of your main bowlers, you want to get him back into rhythm, sort of a thing. That I get. Yeah. The rest of them, it just makes no sense to me. And again, if you look at the contrast, by the way, see, you've got Bavuma and Hamza are really the only ones who will feature. Whether 2 or 3, if you look at the rest of the names, some of the names are a little surprising also, but that's just how it is. You look at the team's difference is chalk and cheese.
See, I see, 2 things that really baffle me. One, Indian team, when you go overseas, that's when you need to have a lot of these warm-up games for you to prepare for those series. That's one area where Indian cricket has been found wanting, and they don't do that. They've stopped doing it. So I can't understand where the need is. When you're traveling overseas, you need to play those games. You say, no, we don't need it. We're okay with this. They do net practice and get into a series cold. They did that in BGT recently. That's what they're doing. But when you're going to be playing at home, where you're familiar with the conditions, you know everything, you are preparing for that series against the opposition. It just does not add up to me. Where you need to be playing practices and get ready, you say, no, our philosophy has changed. But now at home, firstly, you don't need to prepare. Those are bread and butter conditions for you. Not only that, you are allowing the other team to prepare. The reason we were told that the Indian team has stopped practicing or playing practice matches abroad, for two reasons they were told. One, they were not getting good pitches or pitches that were similar to the pitches that they're going to encounter in the series. They're saying no point. Because the country that you're visiting is getting its strategy right by not giving you the pitches that you're going to get or kind of pitches you're going to get. Then you are complaining the quality of opposition that they give us to play is so inferior. What's the point of playing a practice game if we go to Australia or South Africa or whatever? We won't play a practice game. They don't give us a good team. They give us some team which are not even good enough. So what's the point? You say that. Now what you do? The other team is coming.
And
you're
give
saying,
a full
I will give you we are wrong. There's something that is done wrong to us, but we will set everything right. We will give you the pitches that you're going to get like that, and we will give you the opposition that you need to practice against. Forget about good bowlers or batters. India complain that they don't get good quality bowler or batter. You're saying forget giving you good quality bowlers and batters. We are going to give you the actual bowlers and batters, so that it's not even like a simulation. It is the actual team. Prepare against them the best you can. Watch them very closely and decide. My mind takes me back to, and I've given that example, that Sachin Tendulkar played that game, right? But why did he play that game versus Australia? Because he wanted to prepare against Shane Warne. He used it to his advantage, right? Because Australia were going to be playing their main team, and Sachin wanted to prepare. And secondly, I think playing a batter is still better because he's getting ready. What you are doing, you are not getting any of their main bowlers who are going to be bowling at you. So not that KL Rahul or Pant or whatever can prepare themselves to get a sighter, or what a Rabada is going to be doing, or Marco Jansen is going to be doing. So I prepared because they are not playing. So your batter is getting no advantage by seeing their bowlers, which Sachin Tendulkar did. So you're not getting advantage. Secondly, even in that scenario, India never played any of its bowlers, so that Australia players don't get to see what Indian bowlers are like. But we are saying, Kuldeep Yadav is one of our match winners. He can be here. See, these are all the things you want to see. You could see the videos, analyze, and it's an open house. Get prepared. We are nice. Atiti Deva Bhava.
I mean, two guys whose selection, forget the entire scope about including these guys. That itself baffles me. Two guys' inclusion, I don't know what scientific theory can you give in this. Kuldeep Yadav and Mohammed Siraj. Siraj has been your workhorse ever since November 2024. He shouldered most of the burden in all the test matches that he's played. Where is he lacking in red ball rhythm? What was the need for him to play this series? Number one. Number two, unless the Indian team management thought that Kuldeep Yadav last played a test in October 2024 in Delhi against the West Indies, he shouldered most of the workload, got a 5-wicket haul in Delhi. You take him out of Australia, parachute him into center of excellence. He concedes an economy rate in the match combined of close to 5 runs and over. And he takes only 1 wicket. Are you systematically wanting to shatter Kuldeep Yadav's confidence also in the process? Because remember, he's a confidence bowler. He's a rhythm bowler. Do you want to do that? So that, let Kuldeep Yadav just get nudged out like that.
To be fair, the nudging out was pretty evident. He was performing just fine in Australia. And then you nudged him out because you decided...
For 2 games.
I'll want to play Varun for sure.
He didn't play in the 2 ODIs because the conditions didn't allow it. He played in Sydney. Okay? He played in Melbourne where he got tongued, but he got 3 wickets. What happened to him after that? Hobart gone. Gold Coast gone. Gold Coast we come to know, he's been parachuted into the Second test match.
Then is Kuldeep gone?
Kuldeep gone. These two guys, I just find absolutely no point of them playing in A series if you want the same yardstick, because is Siraj out of action? No. Is Kuldeep out of action? No.
KL was playing, he played both the test matches against West Indies.
And the ODIs against
and
Australia.
then ODIs against Australia. So it's not like he's lacking match rhythm or anything of the sort.
I'm saying with the batters, I'm still okay. The batters if they don't get runs now, okay, some game time, fine. Right? But batters also should play if some of their top bowlers are playing. That I'll get some practice now against some of their bowlers. So even if I fail now, doesn't matter. It will give me the necessary sighters that I want or tips that I can pick up about one bowler, two bowler and prepare myself. Then you use it to your advantage. None of those bowlers are playing, so I don't understand why. Batters also I'm still okay. But going to Kuldeep was sent to be playing red ball cricket to prepare. If I'm not mistaken, he was your man of the series in the last test series that you played versus West Indies, right?
Just 1 month back.
The highest wicket taker. The last person that needed any practice in red ball cricket was Kuldeep Yadav, but you've sent him now. Now he's gotten hammered here in this particular game. One is the confidence you're saying of Kuldeep Yadav. But look at the harm you have done even before this test series has started. You've started with 2 steps back on multiple fronts. One, majority of your batters are playing there. They haven't got runs. With an exception of a JUREL who's gotten runs, who we don't even know whether he makes the 11 or not. Whether he makes the 11 is up for debate. Maybe I'll put him in my 11. Maybe the team might not. But I'm still saying he's still, not a sure shot starter. Nobody can guarantee that, right? Your sure shot starters, most of them haven't gotten runs. So that's first. What has that told South? And then your sure shot bowlers or match winners that you had have gotten hammered. What does this tell South Africa just now? 2 things. One, it has demoralized your bowlers that we have gotten hit and lost a record, record runs being chased against not even the main team.
Yeah.
Against the second rung batters. And now they'll be facing the main team. And look at what a main team is going to be saying, right now, when they are going to be the Stubbs and the Markrams or whatever who's going to be joining the team. They're like, a second run is hammering them.
Exactly.
They start with that confidence. Plus, video footage is available. The match is being streamed live. Everyone can see. You can see anything that Kuldeep is trying. You can see anything that Siraj was trying. And it's not even that it was being treated as a practice game. I saw parts of the match. Siraj was pretty fired up. He was sledging. They were feeling the pressure as the chase went on and on. He dismissed their captain, and he was celebrating like, it's an important wicket because they were up against it. Yeah. Later, he was sledging their opener, that Senakwane. Yeah, he was telling him, I know that he took his bat, that, what an amazing bat. It's not even edging. None of your edges are coming to, All I'm saying is it is showing that you are frustrated, you are angry, your top bowler alongside a Bumrah is frustrated, angry by players who are not even going to be playing in your home conditions. Imagine it's putting you down and the opposition team in high spirits.
And look at Rishabh. What happened to even Rishabh Pant is a clear example. The bowlers were relishing going up against him in what were tricky conditions. One match he gets struck thrice. Yeah. Thrice, including once on the head and once on the up-down.
Siraj mid-off, he almost got injured while trying to take the catch.
Siraj, that's what I'm saying. I cannot understand the logic, the thought process of having this A game the way it's played.
Yeah.
This A game at best should have been played minus any of your star players. None of them. I would have only played the batters had South Africa been playing some of their top bowlers in the series, so that my batters could have had. Now you've seen their second string bowling lineup dismissed the way your batters have been. It gives double confidence to their bowlers now, and ditto for the batters.
And if you look at the India A batting, majority of the runs were scored by a JUREL. 255, 132 came from JUREL's bat alone at number 6.
No runs for KL Rahul.
Yeah.
No runs for Sai Sudarshan. No runs for Devdutt Padikkal. Rajat Patidar is not even there. No runs for him as well. These are all your contenders. Pant got a 90, got a 50
in the first innings,
and got a 50
65
in the second. He's the only one, and JUREL to that extent. Pant, I can still understand you're playing because he's coming off an injury. That I can understand. You're playing. Okay, he needs to be, and Akash to an extent, he's coming off an injury. Those two could have played. Anybody else playing here just made no sense, and you've gotten hammered.
Your best bowler was the guy who not picked in the South Africa series.
Yeah,
Prasidh Krishna, 5 wickets in the game, plus a very good economy rate. But you've not picked the guy in the squad. And what wrong did a Prasidh do? After kind of like showing his class in the England series, where he bounced back after having a very bad start.
He had same wickets as Jasprit Bumrah. Same amount of tests, same wickets.
Yet you don't pick him.
But see, in that selection, I think he's unfortunate. But I think because you're playing at home and you're not going to be carrying too many fast bowlers. Had some other fast bowler have been picked ahead of him, then probably question would have been raised.
There was Akash came in his place.
No, but you got to remember that Akash also had a decent time in England. He played.
He got a 10-wicket haul and
he got injured. I agree. It was a 50-50 sort of a scenario between a Prasidh and an Akash. I could have gone with Prasidh. You could have gone with Akash. I mean, basis that. But then the remaining two fast bowlers are Bumrah and Siraj, which would have been there anyway. So 50-50 there between Prasidh
but
and Akash.
the lessons won't be learnt from this India A game. I'll tell you why. If you want to learn the lessons, you know that Sai Sudarshan was found wanting. Then your number 3 is a Dhruv Jurel. On the basis of the form of 259 runs in that second game alone, in tricky conditions, doesn't he merit being a number 3? In place of Sai Sudarshan.
He deserved it. I'm not saying, I just want to see the A score and say he deserved it even before this A.
Correct.
He had been the debut series that he had against England at home showed you he's a class batter.
Plus 175 runs in the recent series.
Class batter. Then he's gotten runs in other places as well, where he got runs now versus West Indies.
175 runs, yeah.
And then I think he played England the last test match where Pant was injured. He's been doing good as a keeper as well. Overall numbers are phenomenal. Yet he finds himself sitting out and a Sai Sudarshan playing ahead of him at number 3. But that I think they will change. I would be very surprised come the first test match, JUREL is not part of your team. But you may not even have to sacrifice a Sai Sudarshan for that. There's a good chance you'll put a Nitish Kumar Reddy out of your 11. He was anyway batting at number 8. I don't think they're going to be utilizing much of his bowling here in this series. So you could just do away with him. JUREL could bat at number 6. You'll have Washi and Jadeja at 7 and 8. And then Kuldeep at 9, and then your 2 fast bowlers. I think that is how you can still put JUREL into the team. Because remember, in England, India played Sai Sudarshan and Karun Nair both on occasion. Yeah. Now Nair is out, so there is still a slot available there. Pant slots in at 5, and so you can still do that. So, I mean, JUREL will still come in. But the rest of the batters... Yeah.
I mean, look at it. Shubman Gill... He's also heading into this series pretty low on confidence. Let's make it very clear. He didn't have a good ODI series. His T20 numbers, there are a lot of people saying that end the Shubman Gill experiment in T20 ice. It has done India more harm.
But Siddharth, this is a test series, and on that front, he's been...
he's all... If he scores one more...
24 to now, from that England home series, where he was on the verge of being dropped, to now... He's been on fire.
One more century, he'll have the most by a captain in a calendar year. So I
don't think test is the least of any concerns that you have with Shubman. So let's not mix format and say that there's an issue. But there is an issue there at number 3 where they'll have to look at that. I'd be very surprised if JUREL doesn't start. And in fact, all your other contenders that you're prepping are also inferior to a JUREL. Like a Devdutt, also who didn't get any runs here, or even Rajat Patidar who gotten back into the scheme of things.
Although now Patidar is out for a couple of months because of a muscle injury that he's got. So that is bad news for him and his chances.
The guy who should have been in the conversation is not even part of the A team now, Sarfraz. So he's also out in that sense. But again, as I said, now the Indian team has arrived, I believe, Shubman Gill and co.
Yes, from Australia directly they have reached KOLKATA there's no rest for Shubman Gill at this point.
They have a practice session at 9 a.m. tomorrow at Eden Gardens. We don't know the kind of pitch that will be given to the Indian team, whether it'll be a nice juicy track or the fast bowling kind of track that we get, or is it going to be a spin friendly track that we have been getting recently.
When you last time played India South Africa at Eden Gardens in 2010, it went to the last over where Harbhajan Singh took 5 wickets. So 2010, where you saw Amla score a very good century, Dhoni hit a century, India racked up 600 plus. You had to really work hard until day 5 to get the wicket. So that was the way it went.
There's also a Gautam Gambhir interview that's already causing a bit of...
Yeah. The full interview will be out soon.
You know what he said? He said that I don't believe in celebrating losses. And the fact of the matter is that we lost the ODI series.
Yeah.
He said we as a nation should never be okay with losing a series.
Yeah. So, clear, hint at... Because the entire nation was celebrating the return to form of Rohit and Virat.
We did talk here. I mean, it felt as if we won the ODI series. When they performed in Sydney when the series was already gone.
So, coaches said that I don't believe in celebrating losses.
Well, I hope that Gambhir's era ushers in the fact that personal milestones just don't matter. If the team wins in the broader context, then you celebrate it. But don't celebrate hollow wins or hollow series with losses.
I mean, he's pretty much done that in terms of T20s, right?
Yeah.
None of the batters except Baring and Abhishek in the recent series had top numbers, but they still did more than enough to win, right?
You did enough to win. 100 can also come at a loss. Then you don't celebrate that win, right? Do we celebrate Sachin Tendulkar's 175 against Australia at Hyderabad in 2009?
Or the 100th.
Because...
Good.
But you lost that game by 4 runs.
You celebrated 100.
But Tendulkar, if you ask him, he will not celebrate the 136 against Pakistan. Because you lost that game by 12 runs. Chennai, 1999.
No, we celebrated, saying one of the finest hundreds ever.
But he didn't take the man of the match.
You celebrate the 100th also. You lost.
He lost. But that was the thing was, it was relief. For 369 days, he was stuck on the 99th 100. And after 369 days on October 16th, he finally got it. Finally. After all that trauma against Bangladesh, 114 or 147. Yeah. Questions, please. Mr. Daniel is saying, I think, Nick sir, I think T20s are getting boring and predictable these days. I'm liking ODIs more. Women's World Cup was interesting, so was CWC 23. What do you think?
Very interesting thought. Actually, to be fair, the ODIs recently have been very entertaining, I must say. I don't know whether it is the context of what is happening. For example, why I'm saying recently as in the India-Australia followed by the Women's World Cup. These are the few games, ODI games that we've covered. All of them seemed very exciting to me because we had reached the stage but every time after a T20I series, let's say Asia Cup in T20 format, as soon as after that you had any ODIs like you had versus Australia or even a World Cup, you'd suddenly see the stark difference in how slow the game is and you'd be like, ODI is boring. But quite honestly, he's right. I think the India-Australia ODIs didn't feel boring.
Barring the first game.
No, I mean, didn't feel boring as in, what I'm saying is that suddenly after T20 as when ODIs used to come, used to be like, it's still on and it's taking 3 hours to finish an inning. Those thoughts would come. It didn't feel like that. And the Women's World Cup as well.
Yeah, Women's World Cup.
At no point did you, feel that the game is dragging or here comes the boring period, 15th to 35th. None of that was happening. I agree.
I think to an extent also because nowadays T20s are only following one template. See, I like a T20 here or there where the batters will be challenged. Where it's not just flat conditions where they can swing their bats. Sometimes it's good to see them work for their runs.
Yeah.
Plus our ODI context when you look at it, our 2-test series prior to that was against the West Indies. Hardly any appealing viewing. I'm sorry, West Indies, respect to them, but I'm sorry, it was not made for appealing viewing. Yeah, plus you are playing Australia, an opponent where we always had a healthy rivalry, so that matters. I'm sure an Asia Cup ODI, an India-Sri Lanka encounter, an India-Bangladesh encounter, this comment would not have come.
Yeah, maybe in a bilateral, but what I'm saying is what actually, to just dwell a little more on Shane's point, that, T20 have become very one-dimensional. I think in that sense, I agree that what ODIs offer you is this, these ebbs and flows, which is changing. Like, so for example, you may have a good start with your openers, But then there could be a stage where you need to stitch a partnership together, you lose wickets. Game changes, right? You don't know what. Then you need one big partnership to come together. Like Women's World Cup, just see, different time you're getting, no, it's still not done. Like in ODI, you pretty much know, you've got one good start for 7 overs, you're well on your course. You're not having any stutters after that. It's done. T20s, you know, it's done. And you have an idea, and that's where now your innings is going to go. Now it's all about you defending that. Here, at any point, you don't know. So many ebbs and flows in a game. It is happening. Right. I think that is the fact. You never really know where the game will go. I think both that semi-final India-Australia as well as that final, you don't know where. Oh no, it could be a problem. Oh, we're having these wickets. Oh, they are going to get 350, 370. Oh no, you've restricted them. They came of phase. You picked up a few wickets. Your spinners have. I think that is what. Only thing you need for ODI, I also actually enjoy them. Only thing which, because it's our job, right? So, and for a lot of you who join us are cricket nuts. So for us, more the merrier. You know, the longer the match, the good. We are occupied. But I'm guessing for a lot of folks who are casual fans or have plenty other things to do, for them it's not possible. I agree. Semis, finals, everyone would have taken out time and watched it closely. On a bilateral, you don't have the luxury of time to do
It's not appointment viewing anymore.
Correct.
Bilaterals are very much now run of the mill. It's like you sneeze and there's another bilateral starting.
Australia, you did because everyone wanted to see Virat Rohit.
And that the context was different, right?
Yeah.
Now here this ODI series in South Africa won't have that context. Just Kohli and Rohit were coming back after 5-6 months.
Still have.
It'll still be exciting because you're going to see them at home now.
2027.
Yeah, 2027.
And don't forget,
Everything
you're
is
playing at
2020.
home now.
Yeah.
So for that return came away. Now they're going to play at home. So there's always context. People will find some context, don't worry.
Yeah.
So AJ says, what are you saying, Sid? We here in Kolkata fill half the stadium in Bengal Ranji matches when opponents like Mumbai have to visit.
Last place you can complain about crowd.
No. I mean, there was a graphic that was shown. I remember this very clearly in 2013 and 16. The attendances in test matches were abysmal in Kolkata. It was abysmal because IPL matches were filling you. The stadium was filled on IPL games.
You know,
but for tests, there was a seismic change that happened.
But that's true, I think, for cricket grounds anywhere in the nation now. I don't think Test cricket is that much appointment viewing for match-going fans. Yeah. Also, for the main reason you have to remember, we don't really play much ping ball. So, the weekdays of the Test match, when they will start, there's always going to be less crowd. So, you'll see a lot of crowds on the weekends. You know, for those matches you'll see it. But other than that, the weekdays...
Plus, opponents also matter, na? A West Indies or a New Zealand will not draw that much of matches. And that's the two that you have been lagged with in 13 and 16. Otherwise, in 2010, when South Africa was there, it was packed.
Exactly.
2001, it was packed. Australia, it was packed. So
the quality of opposition also
matters. Pakistan, whenever they played in Kolkata in 2007, in that period, it was packed.
Of course.
So that is the thing. 5 and 7 when they came here, it was packed, I think. So.
I love mutton biryani, says. Rajasthan Royals won Jadeja, Patirana, Karan, Dhoni's farmhouses, his 70 bikes.
Hey, he's copied this. It's there.
And sends yellow specs in exchange of Samsung, but seriously unfair to Jadeja.
My specs are not for sale.
I completely...
Or not for trade.
Comment of the day. I completely agree. Similar feeling. Talking about mutton biryani, Kolkata has some good mutton biryani.
Of course.
And I got some delivered from Kolkata tonight.
Lucky you.
Where from?
Somebody who is traveling has got me
No, I'm talking about the place.
from this one, the famous place.
The many.
No, there are two.
Armenia?
No, not one is Siraj, and the other is the other one, which is with Arsalan.
Arsalan, of course. Yeah.
I've got from Arsalan.
Arsalan
From
is
Kolkata.
To die for.
Yeah.
Oh.
Has been delivered to my house. I have learnt.
Very good. That's actually Arsalan biryani. Yeah.
Though I believe it's now open in Delhi as well. I've heard.
Yeah, but the quality will obviously fluctuate to an extent. Plus, they'll localize just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amit Divakar says, Impact Sub will hamper the production and development of full-on all-rounders. Hopefully, IPL/BCCI will look into this.
+1.
+2.
Yeah.
We have been harping
We've been
upon this
talking
from
about
the very beginning.
The biggest irony is now you've got a coach who's obsessed with all-rounders and you're having to make do with...
But then you will develop them only if you don't have this impact rule. I was hearing, and I don't know, it was in commentary, this thing was brought up, and Ravi Shastri was on commentary. He was asked his thoughts, and he said, "No, yeah, there are disadvantages about this all-rounder, but the advantage is it makes for great viewing." And I just could not really see that point. Like, what is the great viewing in that? I think to the contrary, it takes away such an important part of cricket in general, is how do you get the balance right? Half of the things that you and I talk about or we discuss or debate about is getting the balance right. We're just talking about JUREL for so long. How do you get that balance right? And now you take that away by saying, your multiple, players are there. It's the fun.
And my problem then comes in also with this batting 11, bowling 11, which has made it even more predictable.
Exactly.
Because then you know that if you're the team batting second, you have this thing 11, which you'll pack one extra bowler who you'll then sub out. Or either you may remove this thing entirely, let there not be batting bowling, then let there be a punt. Then a lot of people won't use the rule. Because they'll say we'd rather stick with a simple templated 11. Worst case, we can get someone in. But then this batting bowling thing has made it so predictable. You just know. And I'm sorry, it's made your bowlers also lambs to slaughter. Every batter is going hard knowing that we're batting till 8. We're talking about 8 and some IPL games are no teams batting till 10.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
Absolutely.
Bowlers are lambs to slaughter.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I don't see any positives. Seriously. Whether it's also, I agree, some things you have to do. Like, let's say you're watching a film and then you like watching a good film and you hate songs in the middle to disrupt it. But then there is an argument saying, no, there are lots of people who enjoy it and, it works on the box office. So at least there is a reason why you put it. But a lot of people may not like, but I can see the point there that maybe there is a section of they enjoy it, they like the singing, dancing. So it's added even if it's irrelevant to the story. There is some logic there. Here, it's not even like box office. It's not even like technically helping you or in any way. It is not adding anything, according to me.
Yeah. Shaurya Nanda is saying, GG as coach with Rocco, matches 24, 112, lost 10, drawn 1, tied 1. Without Rocco, matches 34, 126, lost 5, drawn 1, no result 2. What could be the reason for such contrasting record? I think his test record, when you look at it, came at a time when Rocco's test form was very down.
I mean, you lost 3 tests at home.
You lost 3 in Australia, that's 6. So in those 2 series, Rocco, their form was pretty bad. Rocco. Rohit, in fact, managed only 124 runs in the 6 tests that he played.
And he also managed to somehow disrupt the entire team's momentum in Australia.
Virat, after that 100, just had 90 runs. So with Rocco around, the team didn't have that balance. So that's why I think you lost more here. Rocco's then only one format. I think you're winning more. But
and
again,
also they're in their best format, arguably.
They're in their best format, exactly. So that's why I think that's happening. Ashish Dhar is saying, Rocco are given privilege of not playing side games as they refused to play 8 tour games before Aus tour. For Shami, rules come into play. Same yardstick?
No.
They did refuse.
Yeah. And also remember, they are not coming off an injury that you need to test them for that. They were part of your games prior to that and they played. But as I've been told that they'll be playing Vijay Hazare, which is your domestic tournament, which is on. So, they're skipping A games for that. For bowlers, I think you needed to show fitness and he was asked to do that.
Ashish Dhar, greatest ODI victory. NatWest 2002 or 17 for 5 versus
How is
Zim.
it even comparable?
Yeah.
One is a non-World Cup game.
The other is a World Cup game.
World Cup game which took you to the World Cup. The greatest knock ever played. No comparison. That was good fun. NatWest, I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was, also one of milestone win in Indian cricket. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's a huge difference.
The only regret that was never telecast. 17 for 5.
Yes, of course.
The only regret.
Adds to the mystery.
Yeah, it does. It does. Shobhan Sai is saying, if that's what GG is all about, then I think so. He needs to think more about ODI and the team's failure. He need not to celebrate personal mindset, but someone needs to take the blame. About the thing, we shouldn't celebrate.
No, but I'm not getting the point. Yeah.
He needs to take the blame, but someone needs to take the blame. If not Gambhir, if Gambhir is not taking the blame, then who is to take the blame?
No, I didn't get the question.
I actually didn't either.
If that's what GG is all about, maybe what we are thinking is, okay, milestones are not important, team is first.
Yes, that he is.
He needs to think more about ODI and the team's failure. Okay, he only needs to find a solution as to why the team didn't do well.
I don't think they did badly. See, that one free game, which was the first game, you got the worst end of the draw. And you won one game. So it was a very close series in that sense. I don't think I have that many problems. But fair, I understand the point. I don't agree with it, but I understand the point.
Oops.
Okay, so no, but so he's saying he needs to identify where they're losing. Yeah, he needs to.
He needs to.
Definitely needs to. I hope he's not identifying that we are losing because Roko is.
That I don't think is.
We don't know what coach is identifying.
Exactly.
That should have been the second question, which is why I say interviews done independently are far better than in-house interviews.
In-house, correct.
Dhanush says that Shane said this on this show that Hrithik didn't deserve to win the Filmfare Award for Koi Mil Gaya. Didn't say Shah Rukh didn't deserve the National Award for Jawan. KKR fan. Sir, I'm a KKR fan not because of Shah Rukh. My entire family comes from Kolkata. And to add to your second point, yes, he didn't deserve the National Award for Jawan.
I forget this. 90% of the awards given in Filmfare
or even National Awards they tend to kind of skew very weirdly towards a lot of...
That's why Filmfare came up with
critics, popular,
jury.
So rubbish. And it's not now, for the longest time. They've been... Yes, there was a time where Filmfare Awards, I remember, till about the 90s or, 80s, and those days, Filmfare Best Actor would really be the standout performer in the film, the best film. Actually, the 5 nomination used to be very good. Then it all became about which actor is going to be performing, and he is performing for free, so he has to be given some award. And all big stars, because they used to come, had to be given some award. There was a reason why Amir Khan then said, I'm not going to go for any of these awards. Correct. This is all, done. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That sort of I'm not saying they rigged where money had to be paid, but there was, of course, quid pro quo there.
But that's been true, I'd say, even now. Many people criticize how the Oscars are run, for that matter. That even the Academy has their own biases.
I'm sure, but the one thing that I do find, they don't have multiple categories. You should please everyone.
That's true.
Best actor is best actor. And by and large, the films and the characters that are nominated, rarely a chance where you're not impressed. Yeah, you could disagree with, okay, I would have given it to this fellow or that, but your films that come in for best film, those 5 nominations, or the 5 actors that come for best actor in a supporting role or best actor, they are like real. All of them are. When you see a film, you know why they've been nominated. So that is maintained. It's not that Indian film industry doesn't produce those performances. Some of them are nominated also.
Yeah. For example, in the Oscar foreign film category, when Lagan got outpipped by No Man's Land.
Yeah, what a film that was.
Yeah.
When you see it,
people were annoyed, but No Man's Land is one hell of a
fantastic film on the Belgrade, I think, Bosnian Serb conflict. If I'm not mistaken.
Most films that win those, and a lot of time we don't get those films in time. So it's only after they've won the award there, or at least not now. Now, of course, OTT is different, but at one point when they used to come in theatre, we used to only get the film by the time they had won the Academy Award.
Correct.
So you'd then, go after hearing that it's won, and you'd really be disappointed with what you saw. So you would know, it's actually top class.
Yes. True. Shobhan Sai is saying, mind you, the Oz ODI bowling and batting lineup was full strength. Then the T20I bowling and batting lineup. But what we did, we rested Bumrah, didn't play Kuldeep. If he's serious about series win, then they should have played.
Fair, but I don't think Bumrah risking him in ODIs now makes sense.
Yeah, but I agree with the larger sentiment of Shobhan. If you are saying that every match you're playing for India and you have to win and you're not going to celebrate, I think it's a valid point. Then extend that logic to your experimentation that you were doing in T20. Now you're doing random experimentation. You made Arshdeep sit out, who's your best bowler, and what do you say? You're doing experimentation. But then, if you're so serious about winning the series, and don't do this, na?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's another matter. You have won it.
So
2 games got washed out.
Questions.
Yeah, but then should have been no experimentation. You said, no, boss, we can't experiment. The series is important. We're not going to celebrate losses.
Yes. AJ saying, Nick sir, you should try Dada Bodhi Biryani. Dada Bodhi Biryani of Kolkata.
It's actually the word is Bhabi.
So that's what Bodhi. I know.
This thing is Bodhi.
And so is Dada. So
Dada is also brother.
I thought it was like uncle auntie biryani type. That's what it means, right? Yeah. I know. I can understand Bangla, so I will try that for sure. But these are like old traditional places that I know of. So
Right.
Rohit Pawar says, considering the drubbing and the hands of the Kiwis last year, India beware of Maharaj, Muthu and Hammer. Would that series still haunt the Indian batters? Yes.
If you dish out those pitches, then I'm sorry, Keshav Maharaj, Senuran Muthuswamy and Simon Hama are going to have a field day. Hama can be your Glenn Phillips, Ejaz Patel, like it can be Keshav Maharaj.
Obviously.
And Senuran Muthuswamy, be very careful of him because he can also bat. Remember, he and Kagiso Rabada had that partnership against Pakistan, and already when you look at it, South Africa's batters have had great acclimatization. They have played a full series in Pakistan, 1-1, and they have played on both flat and spinning decks.
True.
Yeah, there's this one guy who I saw batting, that corner Estohuizen, I mean, I don't know.
Esterson, he's a
Esterson.
wicket keeper.
My God, can he bat, yeah?
Yeah.
My God, can he bat? I want to say Esterhuizen or whatever.
Esterhuizen.
Remember the name,
Yeah.
I want to say.
Esterhuizen.
Oh, I saw some glimpses of him batting. My God. Gun player. If he is, I'd be very surprised if he's not in the radar of T20 teams. I'm only talking about a test non player. I'd be very surprised. One of the cleanest hitters I've seen.
Connor Esterhuizen.
Tall bugger, packs a punch. Absolute clean hitting.
Wow.
If you haven't seen him, I'm sure there'll be some highlights on YouTube or somewhere.
Somewhere someone would have put up something.
Please watch him in that chase, that record chase. He comes out towards the end, gets a half century.
77, I think he.
Oh my God. Every shot had my jaw drop.
Wow.
Incredible.
Let's see.
Incredible hitter. Watch out for him.
Yeah. Dikshita Singh, Jadeja traded. These franchisees are ruthless decision makers.
Plus, sorry, also that opener, yeah, how good does he look?
Jordan Herman.
Yeah, man.
These South Africans do have a new
Classic.
crop. Yeah.
Not the Graham Smith type of
Gibbs.
hard not even. Gibbs was very different. He was attacking. This is classic, yeah.
Classic.
Like Amla is,
Amla,
but only
oh.
left-hander. Oof, like
Then maybe an Elgar mold.
no, but Elgar
Elgar was
also
more
gritty.
hardy.
Yeah,
Gritty.
exactly.
Ah.
No, this is
Kirsten?
Saeed Anwar style. I'm talking, cleaning
Kirsten?
it.
What about a Gary Kirsten?
Not a Kirsten also, yeah. No.
No.
Yeah, Peterson was more
Peterson
power.
also little unconventional, no? In his
he was
way,
very
how he
power.
would stand. No,
Yeah.
no. Very classical, yeah.
Wow.
Gorgeous looking batter.
Nice.
Classical. Fantastic cover drive, straight drive with minimum amount of bat movement. Like it's come, touches times it for like
Yeah,
that.
a left-handed
Wow.
callus.
Yeah. Somewhere there.
Left-handed
there.
callus
Yeah,
in
very
that
good.
sense,
Very,
yeah.
very good. Saimayub is not a bad batter, I must
He's
say.
not, but yeah.
After the
I mean, he looks very classical.
After the
but
3 ducks that he had in the Asia Cup, his
After that
stocks.
he's bounced back.
Yeah, he was the one who helped them win that ODI series. First time they won at home against South Africa, imagine.
Dikshita says, Jadeja traded? These franchises are ruthless decision makers. Franchises have been loyal to only 2 guys and driven by market value, Dhoni and Virat. That's it. Yeah, but I mean, see, Jadeja also...
Rohit not for Mumbai Indians.
Rohit, but many will
But
say
the
that-
captaincy gone, that.
Yeah, but I mean, see, leave that aside also. I do think Jadeja now is, I think, probably seen his best T20 days.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand, although some of the other players...
It will end where it all began for him.
Yeah. Who knows, he may be keen to go back there. May get a much larger role and he must be keen. I think while he's been very loyal to the franchise, you know how that whole captaincy saga turned out. He wasn't.
I was
a
surprised
happy
he stayed
chappy.
on after that.
Correct. It took
Help them win the
taken a
cup,
lot of-
23.
must have taken a lot of conviction,
And convincing.
Yeah.
What we were all saying that the Ash Jaddu Jodi will be back in IPL in their colours. They're gone within the space of 1
I
year.
never understood people were talking about that because I'm like, you're confusing formats.
Yeah.
Jaddu was Test cricket.
Correct.
Okay, let's not confuse formats here.
Correct.
They were doing that in T20 cricket. I'd question the pitches you're dishing out.
Yeah, pitches, that's the only thing. Vaishak Chenoli is like saying from the UK. Rishabh Pant at 3 as pure batter like Sangakkara. Dhruv Jurel, your wicketkeeper.
Pant, I don't know. I don't know how good an outfielder he is, honestly. Plus, considering how susceptible he is to picking knocks.
Yeah, no, I think Pant is perfect at 5. He's done so well. Bring in a Jurel at 3 if you want to, but I think See, Sai Sudarshan is in that sense rather lucky to have continued despite not some great performances. But I'm also okay with giving him a fair chance. So and anyway after these 2 test matches, the next test match you play is going to be a long gap. So let him play these 2 test matches. Take a final call on his performance going forward. If it doesn't, then Jurel always can move up to 3. But right now you can bring him at 6. I'm okay.
Yeah, I would reverse it. Keep DJ as your proper bat. Let Pant be your wicketkeeper bat at 6. It gives you the balance in that sense.
It's not. That's exactly what I've said. So you've not reversed it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think systems hung.
That's okay. We'll take your leave.
Yeah.
With that, sorry couldn't take all your questions because we had a bit of an issue with the system today, but we tried to take as many as we could. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
And the day after that. And the day after that.
Of course. Building up to the test match.
Yeah. Take
on
care.
14th.
Bye-bye.
Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables.
Don't trouble your mother.
Subscribe to Sports Today.
Bye.
Bye.